New York City, 911, do you need police, fire, or medical?
Millions of calls every year come through this 911 call center.
Okay, what's your location?
Tens of thousands of them are for a mental health emergency.
We get our tech bag.
A tiny fraction of them reach him.
Make sure we have our gauzes.
Isha Middleton is on a Be Heard team, a group of social workers and EMTs who respond to nonviolent 911 mental health calls, a pilot program launched in 2021 aimed at reducing police responses to mental health emergencies.
We had an opportunity to be, instead of hands-on, minds-on. There are more people who need help mentally than they need physically.
They're a small team.
Sometimes when you see a bunch of us in uniform with radio in the ambulance, it scares people, and we tell them the whole purpose why we're there. We're like, we're here, we want to help you, you're not in trouble, and that helps a lot.
After the shooting of Wynn Rosario in Queens, a 19-year-old shot and killed in March by police during an apparent mental health crisis, officials and advocates are examining how the city responds to mental health emergencies.
Every single time a Be Heard team responds to someone having a mental health crisis or a mental health emergency, we're sending a mental health professional to that person for the first time in our city's history.
Almost 3 years into the pilot program, New York One has found Be Heard has not reached its original goals, and a planned expansion is on pause.
The goal of 50% was a goal that was set during the prior administration.
We will fundamentally change the approach to mental health emergencies in this city.
When first announced, the goal was to cover half of the city's mental health calls in the pilot area. But the number of calls it responds to every quarter is still quite small. And according to the latest data from the program, which is from last summer, it only responded to 23% of calls in its coverage area.
The goal was a bit premature, and we just learned so much since operating the program.
Is there a goal now?
The goal is really to just reduce unnecessary police responses. It's to reduce unnecessary transports and to route as many calls as possible to the teams.
At one point, city officials put more promise in the program. In early 2023, Mayor Adams said he'd bring it to every police precinct in the city.
This means responding to mental health emergencies with mental health professionals and emergency medical technicians while decreasing unnecessary use of police services.
But 8 months later, the city paused the expansion. It's unclear when or if that will change.
As of right now, we have paused expansion, partially due to budget cuts, but this has allowed us an opportunity to really figure out what citywide expansion might look like. It gives us an opportunity to really make improvements to the program.
For now, Be Heard operates in just 31 of the 77 precincts, covering the Bronx and parts of Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Queens. It does not operate in the precinct where Rosario was killed. Officials said his call was not eligible for the program because the operator classified it as a drug call.
So it's been a tough journey.
For years, families like Peggy Herrera's have called for an alternative response to mental health, other than police.
I need the ambulance to show up first, not the police. My son has issues, mental issues.
She called 911 in 2019 for her son, who she said had mental health issues.
He started to just break stuff in his room, and so I just walked out quietly and went to call the ambulance. And calling the ambulance, I spent the night in jail.
Justin, what's going on?
When police came, they tried to coax her son, Justin Baerga, out of the apartment.
No, y'all can't break my door.
Body camera footage shows Herrera would not let police break the door to get her son.
Stop.
A fight ensues. She was arrested.
Let me go!
Police bring her son to the ground.
Uniforms only escalate someone in a crisis. And they come with a stigma, We need compassion. We don't need uniforms. It's my guy. He was my favorite guy.
Baerga died in 2022 in a shooting in Queens. Prior to that, he had been the lead plaintiff in a class action lawsuit to get police out of mental health calls. One of the lawyers leading the case.
I want to make clear it's that the wrong people are being sent. So the city has to have a system in place whereby they send people who are appropriate responders to mental health crises.
She says Be Heard is a start, but it's not nearly enough. Police are still responding to mental health emergencies.
We go there and there's a patient that's calm and the patient that we can help, we can tell PD we're okay. Because a lot of people, they uncomfortable with the cops around and they're more open to us when it's just us and they don't feel like they're in trouble.
So for now, this team will handle about 3 to 5 calls a day. The rest may be the NYPD.
Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.